Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the new working week. So this is our Bitcoin morning update. So we will go over to the charts. Right, so for our first, so yeah, we had that hunt down yesterday below the support. And then, yeah, as we were saying, in true Bitcoin fashion, we've now then had a hunt to the upside at the resistance level. So yeah, just when I was saying everything was looking really bearish and all the stokes, obviously Bitcoin, this is what Bitcoin likes to do. It likes to mess with you for as long as it can before you lose patience, and then it eventually does makes a move. But as we stand at the moment, if we get back above and hold above here this level, which we are above 9,200 pretty much. Well, we're actually bang on now. But yeah, if we get supported by this level again, we have got a really good chance of basically getting up to the top of our box, which is around, well, basically about 10,000. So yeah, we get supported here. I think we will get through. We could get through this 9,500, depending on how long it takes, obviously, because what will happen is obviously the top of this channel is coming down, so the top of the channel then will basically be lower than this resistance. So we could get a move, obviously, at a break of this trend line, that can then take us through the resistance. One sec. Oh. Right, so yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Obviously it will depend on whether we have a strong stock market, but yeah, obviously this will be formidable resistance, but the longer we go on for, and the lower down this trend line comes, the more we're gonna, well, we could end up taking it out on, what day is it now, the 6th. We could end up taking it out on like Tuesday at 9,300, which would also be this high here, the top of this high, and then that could give us some real impetus just to blast us through it. So yeah, I mean, the longer we move sideways and don't break down, on the basis that the bears have every opportunity to break us down. The ball is firmly in their court at the moment, and they've got everything going for them. If they do start to get squeezed, then yeah, and then I think they will pretty quickly capitulate and then just wait to see what happens around the 10,000 mark again. That's what I'd be thinking if I was then. Obviously, you guys know I was saying this is the most formidable support, the best sell level. But you can see I was talking about this a bit earlier on when the trend line did coincide with it always. But as this trend line is coming down pretty sharply, we've no longer got this same confluence at this level. And then obviously you've got to look to breaking out this channel as something that could potentially get us through at least one level of our resistance, especially when that one level is so close to the actual breakout of the trend line anyway, of the trend line, the channel, however you look at it, the top of the channel. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Obviously, it will depend on stock markets. It will obviously be massively dependent on do we find support above 9,200, so we can obviously push on from there, or are we just going to get another rejection like we got here? I was pretty convinced we were going to get this rejection last time. It was here, wasn't it? This rejection last time. But if we come back up there again, I mean, obviously, the more times, you can say this to the downside too, but we are currently at the upside, so we're going to talk about the upside. But the more times you do come back up to a level, the more likely it is then just to continue breaking through, because markets don't give you lots of opportunities to sell the same levels without eventually just basically taking you to the cleaners. But yeah, so that's kind of what I am thinking. I'm thinking now we are yeah, I mean, we're gonna come up to this level, and if we do it today, we are quite close, and that would be a bit extensive big move. But yeah, I mean, if we do consolidate above 9,200, play out this range for the next couple of days, even like the next week. But do I see us staying in this range for the next week? Not the whole 5 days. But yeah, maybe 1, maybe 2 days, and then if we start to be looking at taking out the toppers, I mean, we could drift over if we. This is like the end of the week. I mean, if we just consolidate above here, we'll bust our way out the channel anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Obviously, the downside is still pretty clear. The downside is still this level. Is still this 9,000 level, so we will know if we're coming down there, and the same does go for if we do come back down here. Obviously we're not here at the moment, obviously, but if we do turn around and come back down, then yeah, it will become more likely we're going to break through this this downside and then come down to test basically down here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. We'll have a quick look at the Stokes whilst we're on here. 4 hour turning back up, which is obviously good. 8 hour turn back up, 12 hour has turned back up as well, so yeah, maybe we are onto something on the daily turn back up. What a difference a couple of $100 in Bitcoin price action can make, eh? Obviously 2-day isn't, sadly the weekly isn't, and the weekly is obviously accelerating to the downside now. But yeah, obviously the more this moves down, the more the level that Bitcoin has to get to actually turn this back up comes down, if you understand what I'm saying there. So the more likely we could potentially turn this weekly back up, and then it will be, then I fully believe it will be all systems go then. This weekly candle looking good so far. This is what I was saying in last night's video. We need a better looking candle. We need a better looking candles here. But here is the level. Look, last week's high 9,300. Take that out. And yeah, that's why I think we'll get a lot of momentum that will take us through this first level of resistance, bearing in mind this other level, this other trend line will not be, will basically have come down, so we'll be through that as well. And then yeah, and then it will be a case of testing this 9,700, in which case if we're still going to come down, I still think they will tap that liquidity up at around the 10,000. So things are looking better, marginally better, but we just got to play what we see this week. But I think definitely be an interesting week. Things are hotting up. Things are hotting up in the world. We've got an interesting year I mean, election years are always very interesting years for markets. So we've got a lot to look forward to this year, and we obviously know that does impact Bitcoin. So, but right, so there we go. Not much else to say here, guys. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and off to get a haircut after here. So yeah, finally, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys later today.